So within 5 seconds, you can go through and change the map from stock to map 1, map 2, map 3, map 4. And then when you come in here to this screen, if you mount your phone to your windshield, you can go through and be able to see AFR and all that kind of stuff. And then now I'm getting into where they actually have the log. So you can log your run, and then you come in here and you can actually see all the data. So if you want to make any changes, you can do that through the OBD interface if you want to get that crazy, but most of us are probably just going to run the maps that they have on there. And so you can see again, I'm just switching between maps just to show you guys kind of how quickly it is. So very simple, very easy to use, and it's really cool how you can customize it and change all the stuff to be able to see, because on our standard outputs, we don't have the ability to see the boost pressure like how the guys do with the high outputs where it's built into the truck. So it's kind of cool to be able to go through and see that. Let's talk about driving impressions. So with a piggyback tuner like this, what I find is actually really cool is you have drivability that's exactly like stock. Like if I gave you my truck right now with map 2 and you just drove it, you would have no idea that it wasn't stock. There's no flat spots. There's no weird fuel issues like you sometimes have with a lot of modified cars. I've had a lot of cars that have been tuned on HP tuners, for example, where you reflash the PCM. And if you don't have your tune spot on, then you have little issues where certain throttle positions in the map at certain miles per hour, it might fall on its face, or it feels weird, or it surges, it does different weird things like that. But you don't get any of that with the JB4. So it's perfectly just feels like stock. And then when you go to rip on it and you go to floor it, that's when you start to get, where it's a little bit more spicy. And it's just a little bit more fun. It's nothing mind-blowing. We're talking 50-ish wheel horsepower here on this particular map. And I'm sure once we can start running E30 in the future and be able to get this thing up to 75, 77 wheel horsepower, that's going to be awesome. And I'm sure Berger's also working on some sort of solution to help with the fueling on this thing, whether it's maybe more of a high volume fuel pump or meth injection or whatever. I'm sure there's a lot of companies out there working on different solutions right now for these new engines. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cool solutions coming out. So I have been able over this last week to make some runs with the Draggy GPS units.